Today, I want to show you exactly how I grew my Instagram page to over 100,000 followers using a strategy that you can apply to things that interest you and grow a huge audience. And here's the twist, with a bit of a caveat. I did it all without creating any original content from scratch. The Instagram page was grown completely with this strategy of using historical footage that I'm going to tell you about in a second. Now, the caveat is that I did create a podcast and a YouTube channel that has 300 episodes and a bunch of different platforms and followers in different places. It did build an audience in that way, but what we're talking about today is the Instagram page, which I treated as its own business and could stand alone on its own. Okay, so what I did is I used historical footage dug up from the deepest corners of YouTube, and I curated it in a way that built trust, community, and some serious growth. That is by far the most successful way that I could then grow my YouTube channel and podcast is by making an Instagram page. Everyone knew me as the guy who made the historical footage, the found footage guy, and then from there they would listen to the podcast. Let me break down how it works for you. So the big idea, basically curating instead of creating. So in a world now that is completely flooded with AI generated content, I think more than ever, people are craving something that is real, something human. And that is where historical footage comes in, because it has its own special feel to it that AI can probably mimic, but this is something where you're creating like a museum of historical found footage. You may be thinking, is this just like a repost page or something like that? And the answer is no. I didn't just go on and repost viral clips. What I did is I would dig through long forgotten jazz videos from the 1940s, obscure talent shows, and vintage concert footage with only a few hundred views, and that's key. I'd like to find something that is like not oversaturated, something that has not gone around the internet 10,000 times and been reshared. And what ended up happening is that I would find the videos that in my world, in the drum community, would then get shared around 10,000 times, but it would a lot of times originate from the Drum History Podcast Instagram page. The key to this is the kind of curation that you're, creating. It really stands out. It feels fresh, even if it's an old video, because like I said, everyone has seen such, I love AI stuff. I am a huge AI user and proponent, but there's now a space in the market for old stuff because people are like really kind of confused on, is this real? Is this not real? If you post an old video that's like from, the 1920s, odds are it's pretty real. The best part about all of this is that you can do the same thing no matter what topic you want to cover. Tips on how I did it. Again, in your field, replace drums, drummer, vintage drum solo, whatever we talk about with, business tips, vintage business tips. If you're into fishing, talk about fishing. If you're into whatever, sports, talk about sports. But here's some tips that I did. So I would search YouTube with keywords like 1950s jazz drummer or vintage drum solo, pretty obvious stuff. But then I would just throw random words out there, like a country, like Indonesian drummer, drum solo, rare, Egyptian, and then look up an Egyptian kind of drum, and then 1951, 1952, 1953, and I would look up different dates. I mean, I'm talking, after years of this, you kind of start to go deep. Then, this is going to be helpful to you. I used Wikipedia and found lists of notable musicians as a starting point. Then searched each name individually from there. So apply that to what you're looking at. Famous businessmen from the 1960s or businesswomen from the 1970s and 80s, whoever you want to talk about. Iconic sports coaches from the 80s. You'll get a list, copy the list, go to YouTube, look at other countries. So again, whatever your subject is, look at other countries. And if it has 200 views because someone put it on YouTube with like a weird title that's like, a file name, that's great. You can download it from there. I will say though, I was a big fan, and I still am a big fan. You should always give credit when credit is due. So if you download something, even if it's just the YouTube name, always give credit. People see that, and it just shows that you're on the up and up, and it means a lot to people. I know when people kind of stole stuff from me and shared it. Some famous musicians would just rip a clip and then share it. That took me 2 weeks to find. Didn't feel great. Post consistently, like I did every night. You could do 3 times a week, start just once, and then find another cool one. Just keep it going. But I would save a block of text on my notes app that would be formatted with hashtags and a link to whatever you want to promote, or just you know, some dashes so it's down, and then some hashtags. And then you can just copy and paste it every day. So let's say your topic that you're going to cover in your Instagram page is business. So you'd search for example, like old Warren Buffett interviews or vintage corporate training videos that are like kind of completely out of date, but people like that because they don't see that often. Fashion, post runway footage, archival store ads from the 1970s and 80s. People love seeing that stuff. Sports, curate forgotten highlight reels or Olympic clips from decades past. That one's a little bit more saturated. You could zero in just on the Olympics thing. I think that would be a good one. Education, share old science demonstrations or classroom footage from the 60s. I would love to see that. I mean, if you could pull those videos of like Bill Nye or the guy with the crazy hair who I remember watching at school. It's all content people love, but very few people are curating it. And again, right now, everyone's going AI, new, VO3, you know, AI generated videos, go the other way, create, you know, a curated feed of historical clips, because people can kind of like, it grounds them. It's like, whoa, okay, I can trust this. This can lead to a great way to promote something. So if you're doing this to build a brand where you want to have a YouTube channel, a podcast, a brand, whatever, once you built the trust through the valuable historical clips, you can start promoting your own content. In my case, creating a podcast, which did make money, I still do it, kind of on a hiatus, doing videos like this right now, because I'm doing this instead of that. For about every 5 to 6 historical posts I would share, I'd share one about the podcast, a new episode, a behind the scenes shot, or like a story or short from a recent episode. Because if you have a podcast or a YouTube channel, you can't just say new episode, you know, a week later, new episode, week later, new episode. You can't do that. But because I built trust with my audience as a curator of these videos and they liked kind of my taste in them, they wanted to hear more. And that led to a huge traffic spike for the show, YouTube, and even on Patreon, which I use as one of the ways to monetize the podcast. So it all started though from repurposing and sharing old videos that were already online and just finding them. As we get close to wrapping up here, I'll say a few things, you know, how to make it work for you. So specialize the topic that you want to talk about, keep it focused and predictable. Be consistent, be on a regular schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Weekends, I never really posted. I might be wrong about that, but I always found a dip in engagement. Respond to comments, that is huge. That is the best way to grow your content, is by responding to people, building an engagement. They get to know you, you get to know them, follow their page, and then mix in your voice. Like once you earn the trust of the people who follow you, then you can share your own stuff. And what I did really was adding more like, I'd find silly videos of like drummers or 1980s crazy electronic drum commercials for like some drum pads. And it was kind of off the wall stuff. You can push the limits a little bit more and share your own voice, but just remember, keep your North Star. Remember what you're doing. Honestly, with Instagram, it's no fancy gear. It's no dancing or anything or making video shoots or setting up a camera. It was sitting on my couch at night, searching YouTube, sometimes for an hour, finding a video clip, sharing it, doing it the next night. And you can do this too. Whether you're into business, music, sports, art, or anything else, there is a gold mine of underused footage out there just waiting for you to discover it. I'm serious. There is so many topics that you can do with this. So hopefully you found this helpful. I'm doing this channel, which is pretty new. So if you can hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, tell me what you'd want to try with this. I mean, I'd love to hear some other topics and how you're going to do it. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. And I hope you guys take this and create a new Instagram page and send it to me. And be sure to follow Drum History Podcast if you're interested in seeing what I'm actually talking about, and subscribe to this channel for more stuff. Thanks for watching.